All right. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is part 2 of my video in which I try to explain that there are hidden symbols, according to me, in the Trionfi Della Luna deck that show a clearer meaning of the cards. So in case you hadn't seen part 1, which was uploaded a week ago or less than a week ago, depending on how the schedule goes, go ahead and check that one out first. I will link it somewhere here, then come back to this one. And here's a quick recap. In the previous video, I showed the similarities that we can see in the Rider Waite Smith, traditional Rider Waite Smith, and the Trionfi wands and swords. Now I am doing the same for the cups and the coins because, in case you hadn't noticed, we were missing 2 suits. Can't do that. We have to have all 4 suits, right? Now, obviously, the Rider Waite Smith and any Golden Dawn deck came after, obviously, the traditional Tarot de Marseille, and was without a doubt, those Golden Dawn decks were without a doubt inspired by traditional Tarot de Marseille decks. And now I'm kind of changing it around. The reasons being that so many people know the Golden Dawn systems better than the older tarot that came before. And the second reason being the Trionfi Della Luna is an unconventional Marseille that came after all of those other decks, all of those other systems. So without further ado, this is part 2 and enjoy. All right, the aces, beautiful fountain. This is with the 2 of cups is just very similar. It's almost like I don't need to see these 2 people. All I need to see is these 2 cups, and it's almost as if I'm looking at 2 people. But I like that this Hermes staff is, instead of the 2 fish in the traditional Marseille, these have become monster dragons. But I also like that around this staff, it's coiled around it, and then there are these 2, I don't know, they look like claws. It's almost as if these hands meeting are mirrored in these claws, to me. Here with the 3 of cups in the Trionfi, it's almost as if we're looking at some sort of a sea creature. And let me fix the light because this is just Dutch light. Comes and goes. Like a sea creature with these claws, and these claws are telling me, yeah, we are grabbing, we are accomplishing things together, and that also brings us to this new understanding of each other with that eye. And it does actually, it's like a charm, it's like a protection, it's like a promise with one another. It's 2 things coming together like the process. We make something bigger than ourselves. I cannot help but see the disappointment of the Rider Waite Smith 4 of Cups depiction, because obviously the 4 is about stability, so the 4 of Cups could be, in a numerological way, an elemental way, could be a very positive card, except that here we get to, it's not a very happy, super energized, high energy moment. So it's almost like this person is a little bit definitely introverted and not very happy with where they are now. Same with this little demon friend. It's like, yes, with the wings protected, almost like the tree is support and it's protected. The stability of the 4, it is a protection, but it's not very inspiring moment. So kind of boring as well, right? That's what I see. Here with the 5, I'm not actually sure, but I always see this as a typical mourning card with OU, not a very happy moment. But then here, that's the doggy. But then here we see maybe a little bit more of a hopeful energy. Here on top we have a little tulip head. We have a creature, we have a face with a weird flower. I always think of a tulip. And then here, down here, we have these weird little roots with something that looks like a birdhouse. And it's almost like don't forget what you always have anyway. You know what I mean? And from there on, we actually do grow new things. It's almost like we can see this is what we are focusing on right now, and you are allowed to be unhappy about it, but don't forget about those two cups still standing. Six of Cups, the sweetest card in the tarot, and a very happy looking card in this Marseille deck, because we have the sun, we have happy open flowers, very colorful actually, and all aligned. So there. Seven of Cups is again a deception card, of a vision, but we shouldn't really trust everything. Here again, there's a drop somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Things aren't as they seem kind of energy, again with the drop. It's just the whole energy of this card, isn't it? Just look at these vines, the way that it's all very beautiful. It looks like there's a lot of movement happening, but it's almost as if it's not really showing the way that it is. It just appears to be this way. Just what I see in it. I mean, obviously I'm projecting a whole lot of my, tarot meanings and tarot knowledge onto these more abstract cards. But there is something there for sure. So here with the Eight of Cups, kind of a sad moment once more. And again, just like in the Four, we see a face, little demon face in the middle, not looking all that happy, not looking all that satisfied or content. So definitely again a moment of, I am leaving this behind. This is not exactly for me. But then here with these vines that look like they are making the shape of a heart, it's almost as if, okay, well, now we are going to look for what really is important to us. And then there's another thing. These vines, look, this looks like a heart. So it's almost like the heart above the head. And then here, it looks like this creature has its hands like this. Like, okay, so now I'm ready to go and do my own thing and listen to myself. Kind of like a master finding its own voice. Here in the Nine of Cups, apart from it looking like a trophy cabinet in the Marseille, in any Marseille, we also have these vines with eyes again, which is, what I like about this deck. We don't have many cards that don't have aspects of something that we can recognize that is, eyes or faces or people or creatures rather. And here there are two eyes, but stacked upon each other. I don't know, this just looks to me like a kind of balance, because we have the two eyes, but more than anything, this is the first Cups card where we have these little wings, it almost looks like, on the cups, which makes them much more, they are changed. They are completely decorated. They look completely different. See that? With this extra decoration, with the line and the things and it almost looks like this is a beautiful, perfect moment. And so enjoy. Yeah, it looks more, not only the way that they're set up looks like a trophy cabinet, but also just these cups look like trophies. These cups look like, this is what you've made, and it's a self-love card. 10 of Cups. I mean, I know that the biggest difference between the Trionfi Marseille 10 of Cups and the traditional Marseille 10 of Cups is the fact that this 10th large cup isn't closed. It's open and it's actually pouring water into the other cups. In a traditional Marseille, this cup would be closed, and actually you would be able to see a little coin or pentacle as the top. So the next suit would be the coins, and that is how they connect in the Marseille. But here it's open, and you know what? I really like that actually. And it's good to know the traditional, the Marseille, what it's supposed to look like, but this way it's definitely open and full and a happy moment. It looks much more alive and accomplished and flowing, and therefore with a lot of energy. I guess rainbow energy, I don't know. I didn't expect to talk this much, but here we are. So I think it's time for a break. Get yourself a drink, get more comfortable, and stick around. I will see you for the B-side. Okay, last suit. It actually hurts to hold up these cards in this way. Hi, doggy. Want to come and say hi before we finish with the last suit? You see her tail? Doggy, come back. This is also a green suit because these are like seeds, and you can kind of see the beautiful garden in this Ace of Coins that we see in this Ace of Pentacles. Obviously, this banner is in the form of a lemniscate, and in the Golden Dawn decks we do get to actually see the lemniscate. You know, in the Thoth we see the snake, and here it's the banner. So that's basically where this shape came from. It's definitely about balance. In this way we do have the one above and one below, and this one is held up higher than that one, you know. But it's also, you can even see it in the waves here, how Pamela Smith just added in that movement that we also get to see here. You know, there's just more to look at, but it definitely feels like this is your own stamp that you can put on the world or whatever project you are doing. And that might also be a little bit far-fetched for this particular meaning. But what I was going to say is that this card with the name and the year and the publishing and all of that on it, it really does feel like you can put your own stamp, your own identity, your own twist onto the life or the project or the process. But, you know, that's maybe not exactly related to the scenic pip. Here, I kind of see in these faces, because in every coin we have faces, which actually really, again, like I said, does help to see a little bit more meaning and recognizing some form of energy. It's not Marseille that when we're looking at two coins, it's two inanimate objects. Maybe we can see seeds or flowers, but here we actually get to see faces in almost every card, like I said. So she might look a little bit eccentric, right? And this guy, it kind of does look like three masters coming together. Don't you agree? Plus here in the shape we do have the very clear foundation, and then here we get to get a little bit more creative. And it is very practical, like that diamond, the diamond. Four of Pentacles or Four of Coins. Here we have the shield. That is definitely all about the protection and the safety and the keeping everything together, keeping everything that you have. Some people call this the miser energy. I mostly see it as stability and, yeah, protection. It is like a shield. And you can even see that this guy is holding this middle pentacle like a shield. Also, I feel like the face in these coins looks very strong. So on a positive note, obviously, this is a strong card. Can be a strong card. With the fives, I mean, honestly, in the Marseille, it's still a beautiful card, but compared to the cards that came before it, look here with the little buds, you know, coming out, And then here with the 6, the card that comes next to it, with actually the flowers beautifully showing their colors finally, here it's almost as if the flowers aren't working, the plants aren't doing that well, nothing is really coming out. And so it does remind me a little bit of this, or you could use this kind of imperfect moment in reading this particular card. It looks like all the buds are just so small and almost dry or something, or just it takes so long for them to start up or something, and it's just not happening. That's what I see. Here in the 6, it is a giving energy, and there is a lesson also to learn, again with the eye in the middle. At the same time, the faces in the coins aren't that friendly, so it's still, I think, a little bit about finding the balance between giving and showing these beautiful colors and beautiful swirls of the flowers, and what exactly you are hoping to achieve or to gain from this. I think this is a card that shows that it's an energy that isn't as easy as it looks. The 7, I'm not exactly sure what's there apart from the traditional almost ankh sign, or it looks like a handheld mirror that we can see in the plants, that we can see in every deck, every Marseille deck, which to me really shows first you look within. You know, you have to look at yourself before you can make this decision of which coins or seeds or things you take and which ones maybe are not for you. I think the coins is just the hardest for me to see. I don't know, could it be the first suit that Patrick drew, or maybe the last suit that Patrick drew? But here I see just again just mostly the traditional, you know, the shape of the plants. It looks like a ladder, right? It looks like we are moving upwards. And then what I can add to it is that we have this flower in the middle that really is opening up. So it is showing like, okay, it's not just about repeating yourself, it is about making it better every time. Almost done with the 9. Well, here finally we just came out of, I think, good 4 cards back to back that are difficult to explain in this weird idea that I had. Here it's finally, finally becoming more clear. This is a very abundant, very beautiful place and garden, very safe and very abundant place to be in. And here the lady in the coin has a very intrinsic and luxurious updo. And then also the vines even look, or the plants, the flowers even look very luxurious, because we have these wings that are just spread out and saying, okay, well, this is your moment. And it just has a kind of a luxurious look to it, doesn't it? And then here with the 10, I like the fact that we see a family energy. Of course, it doesn't need to be about family, but here it's almost as if we are looking at a tree, like a family tree, or just the connections between people. And yeah, the fact that we're all connected and that there's this center point. Okay. Wow, my shoulder hurts from showing cards like this to the cameras. So I don't know how long I filmed for. I think it was at least an hour, but I'll edit this. Hopefully it won't be too long. I just want to thank you for being here, and let me know what you think, if this was helpful in any way, if you want me to do other decks, because obviously the Trionfi is just my favorite deck. The Rider Waite Smith is the first deck I read with, and I still read with it. So, you know, these 2 decks I both know really well, and I know the images really well, I know the creatures really well, but also I just fell in love with the Marseille pips. There's just so much that you can do with it, and I realized a little bit later on that this specific deck really has a lot of details and hints, and yeah, kind of like these little secrets that might not be that obvious, that actually help a lot in, again, finding the meaning in these cards. So this was basically a video for tarot readers who are maybe learning Marseille or who have a Marseille deck but don't consider themselves a Marseille reader. This deck really almost is like a bridge between scenic pips, or maybe pips like the Thoth that have a background, and very dry, abstract Marseille decks. May be difficult to interpret depending on what you like, obviously. But yeah, I hope that this was an enlightening video. Please like if you liked it. I'd say don't leave yet, because if you like this video, I will link another one any moment now that you'll enjoy as well, which will also be undoubtedly about Marseille pips or the Marseille system, and I will be using this deck. I already have the video in mind, which one I'll link. If you are new here, let me know so I can properly welcome you to this online space, and I will see you all next week in the next video. Thanks so much for being here.